Hi, good. You?
I'm fine.
Excellent.
Come down.
Nice to be all out, isn't it?
It's been a while.
Aye, it does, aye. I mean, I've been doing other things for the protests here and there for different things, but it's nice for all to get back away with you, that's all right.
You're the leads, aren't you?
Right, guys, we're back. Didn't have for how long? I've had to reset my phone there because we had no signal. So we'll see how this goes. Just started. Hey, nice to see you. Vinny, I'm back.
Can you slow down, people? Come on over, join us.
Oh shit, I didn't know I've shared that many stuff, I don't know. Shit, I can't even remember where I shared that.
Oh, we got somebody's a little bit upset, bless her. Go for it, yeah. A little bit upset. Can you?
Oh, right. Facebook. It'll probably still be on my profile, I reckon, like. We're back. I've had to reset my fucking phone and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Aye. Still had signal, but they just wasn't letting us come on YouTube.
Yeah. Weird that, like, isn't it?
Aye.
I've just told that fucking sergeant off there for grabbing one of the lads.
Everything's kicking off already.
Now fucking giving it there.
She's getting up to Everything's getting up to
Yeah. Oh, do it close.
I can be fucking feisty.
That's just what I fucking got. She's a funny little.
All right.
What the fuck? Oh, we're going back now. That was a waste of time.
I don't.
That's the truth they don't want us to discover. Through all the pain, all the strife, all the hate, all the lies, I keep faith in the life. I know I can't. It's a fight.
They're just not happy about making us fear, that's all.
What that fear's got no time to hear. A new day is near.
Now the small drill was really.
Look within, feel the power we share. Power to the people. We're gonna conquer this evil. Power to the people. Power.
It's just not happy about being fucking ladies. See, there's not enough of us to do that.
Yeah. I can't believe we're getting fucking led astray. You're like, well, the police routes and that.
This is where that
Bullshit, this.
is the thing about it, aye.
When we do, we just go the fuck where we want.
Hey, Marlon, nice to see you, brother. Aye, that's the thing. It's,
I don't even know where the car is from. I haven't got a clue.
oh, I'll find us back way, aye.
Fucking back's killing right there.
Is
So
it?
I'm just sold, haven't I? Fucking egg like little,
See
like
what's
a
happened
little
to your
bitch.
car, the drug airplane process, what's happened to your car?
That's ongoing, I'm talking there.
I've still got it?
Aye, I put a civil claim in against him and he will cover. Aye. Him as a man, not the police, him as a fucking man. I tell them at the time,
Don't like it.
I want to do you for this
see that,
fucking person you like. Oh, cheers, matey.
Well, good son.
What's going on there? Awesome. Someone dropped the ball, someone had been fucking ran over.
Car!
Oh, that's stay sick.
Go on, Mal, give us a smile, son. Hey! I know you. Are you got me Facebook? Amy, innit? Is it Amy? She's always casting away on Facebook. I'm only joking. I'm Steve Chase.
Do you want to put all the crazy stuff on? You just have me laughing every day like your post. I'm like,
Who am I? Not hers.
Right.
She's have a rocker there. She's got about fucking 20 different names. Amy Lorna, Lorna and Amy or something.
well, you've got it on Facebook. You've got it
I've
on
got
50
Stephen
accounts,
Chase
haven't
and
you?
Stephen Chassie. Stephen Chase has been. Look, Stephen Chase has been. All right, let's go on, brother.
All right. Looks like we're off to the end of life centre.
Oh, no. Where we all started off together, didn't we, Kev? 3 years ago. It was only about 20 of us, I think. In Hartlepool, yeah. Big Darren, Eddie, and Charlie. There's a few of us, like, weren't there? Little Natalie and them as well.
Hey, nice to see you.
We started going up to Cramlington with all the ones up there.
HNK solicitors in Leeds. Aye, I've heard about them, aye.
Didn't want to go to the Massey Centre. I'm going before you, so I'm going back because Ken picked you up. So I'm going to get back. I need to go get ready. Can't be arsed, really, so then chill. I don't even like drinking.
As soon as you get there on your first drink.
I don't like drinking.
I was out last night. That's what we drink later.
This March has been a 40 year harvest, right? Oh, yeah. I don't know what happens. Anybody leave compared to what I used to do, like. We're all new faces, aren't we? Yeah. Still getting friends about the tour where we go like them. That's what we want to have, like down in there. We go around up to them. Crazy. I go to London one night on the 5th.
See, I didn't like going down there, mate. Don't like the place.
Alright. Yeah. Look at Tony, he went to the one in Leeds the other week, didn't he? Got there.
Aye.
About 10 people there. I was texting saying, don't go to Leeds, go to Manchester. They were all in Manchester.
The thing is, we're here now where we are.
Yeah.
Them are them, we're here.
Yeah.
We're not going
They
to
can do
wake.
their areas,
We're not going to be able to wake any more people up to what's going on. It's too late. They've already been done.
They're all just fucking sleeping, aren't they?
But this is nice for all of us, you know. It's nice for people to get together anyway.
Awesome it is. It's nice to see all your faces anyway.
Just gets your energy levels up a little bit.
Yeah.
Aye.
That's what I've been hating water because I've had me just on my back.
The end of life centre.
Actually just took out. Yeah.
That's what I think. It's just so destructive all the
Well, I'm just having a little peek down, see what's down here like. Oktoberfest, eh? Gone in there and anyone will come back out.
I'm saying I'm not going to let win here.
No.
Unless we got into the bar.
Good, good.
Even the company didn't understand the difference between maritime law and common law, that sergeant.
He didn't.
Nah.
This is how uneducated we are. This is what we've got to deal with. They're not getting taught it. It's like we don't get taught in the schools or nothing. It's fucking wrong. They should be taught in schools.
We don't want no vaccine passport. We don't want no vaccines neither. You can take back your mask and your PCRs. We're taking back our rights and our freedom. Take your freedom back. Take your freedom back. Take your freedom back. Take your freedom back.
Right, it's getting a bit windy, mind. Hey, Piers, nice to see you in Newcastle. Oh, we might have a bit of wind noise here. Exactly, Keir. That's why we're in this position. Any questions asked, guy, just jab away. Oh, what's going on? What's it's fucking freezing. I know they could have picked a better place to stay, like.
Does that keep it steady?
Oh yes.
I need one of them. I'll start to shake
No, that's why I need one.
Thomas.
How was them fucked off, like?
Huh?
Has them fucked off?
I don't know, she keeps on fucking saying about fucking peas. I fucking hate that one. That's just it. I said, your boyfriend's over there.
We're going to turn around and think, hey, you're scrapping or something.
It'd be funny that all, wouldn't it?
We could have picked a bit shady of a place, you know, if we were going to speak.
Oh, there's a beer festival there.
Oh, you know. I was saying if we go through there, that's as far as we'll get.
Yeah. What we need to do is go through the fucking Eldon Square and everything. That's what we need
We
to
did
do.
last time, right. When we done ours before, we did do all that. We went through fucking Eldon Square.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just a solid, you're touching you there.
Yes. It's in my right to fucking knock him on the chin.
Yeah. That's what I told him about that lad over there. So you've got no right to touch him, mate, at all.
Aye.
And I fucking hammered him. Absolutely hammered him.
Oh, they didn't realise it's assault.
Exactly.
But if we were to do that to them, fucking cuffs, get pepper spray. That's right. I'm pleased I kept this fucking coat on, like.
Oh, look at me toasty now.
Wrap up well. We're in the northeast.
Yeah, he's fucking face dropping us. I'll probably know more laws than you, mate. Maritime and common law,
Everybody move further in. If everybody wants to come off the street and come further inside, come little children, come in, come in. Everybody move forward.
Come.
Fucking I'm tough. Take me hat off. What time
Stand
is
with that wind at me back.
What time is it?
Didn't I? New stream, about to restart my fucking thing.
Oh, fucking hell's 3:30.
3:30 already?
Yeah.
Right, saying that, it was only 1
we
o'clock
stopped.
when we started, wasn't it?
No. How long do you reckon we're going to be here for, do you know?
It's not normally an hour or so, isn't it?
As long as I'm back home for like 5ish, you know.
Right.
I'm going to get fucking ready. I'm going to be there for 6:30.
Right, so you've got to be back at 5.
5.
So we leave here.
About half 4, about another hour.
Right.
Is that alright?
You keep an eye on the time.
Oh, don't worry, I fucking will.
I've got beer to be drinking.
I've got parties to go to. I've got an hour on the fucking couch to fucking catch up on sleep so I can get the party tonight.
Charge your batteries, old man.
Right, yeah, I have my legs and my back.
It's going to blow away there.
I know. Oh, we put something heavy on top, it might help. What you put on there? Stone. You want a brick on top of that, man. So we're going to have some words from Fierce now, are we?
No, he's alright, God.
Oh, God.
Can't be trouble with him.
Well, he's like Marmite, isn't he?
Yeah. Full of shit. I don't trust him at all, man.
Right, did everybody have a nice walk? Everybody invigorated?
Aye, Dean.
We had a couple of adverse comments on the way through with the neighbours. I can hear the voices again. Right, yes, we had a couple of adverse comments coming down, but I think in general we spread the load. Okay? Now, over the last, is it almost 3 years, we all have to adapt to doing various things. I've had to become keyboard warriors. A lot of work I've had to be studied.
I'm proud to be a keyboard warrior, mate. So you can fuck her
And one person who's done a lot towards this, she would just describe herself as an ordinary housewife or a woman, but she's a bit more than that.
Fuck's sake, like a little fuck.
Can you set a seat? Can put a seat up for you. Aye, Rex. Nice for you to join in.
Let's get down there. He's giving me moral support. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Right, so I'm here today to talk to you about Freedom Alliance. Freedom Alliance is a new political party set up as a direct response to the tyranny of 2020. It's really windy. I want to tell you a little bit about why we exist and what we stand for, who we are, and why I believe very strongly and very passionately that it is a brilliant vehicle for us to use to platform the truth, stand up for what is morally right, and call out the corruption and the lies. I want to invite you then to learn more about us, and if you like what you hear, to join us. So why do we exist? So we exist for many reasons. We exist to provide genuine political opposition to the government, because without us there is none. We exist to bring the protest movement into the political world, to platform truth and disrupt the status quo. We also exist to be the voice for those people who share our concerns but don't yet have the courage to speak out. More and more people in this country are beginning to resist the Great Reset in their everyday lives, and by providing a public voice, we encourage those people to come forward. These people don't go to rallies or stand in parks on Sundays or on roadsides with yellow boards. Some of them have only recently started to wake up to what's happening. We need to hear from them too and empower them to join our fight. So why else do we exist? We exist to fight against the World Economic Forum, the global control and capture of the big corporations, the millionaires, big pharma, the banks, the legacy parties. We believe in very small government and local, not global. And we've moved way beyond being only an anti-lockdown, anti-restrictions, anti-vax mandates party, which is where we started, to now describing a positive vision for the future, which puts the needs of the people first. And our manifesto reflects much of the work the freedom community is already doing to build up new systems for health and education and food production and energy. We advocate for a wholesale change in the way the country is run. We see the future as a positive one, which focuses on... I need to move my hair, sorry. Okay. So we see the future as a positive one, which focuses on a local, community-driven way of organising ourselves. We do believe we need governance in the country, not anarchy and fighting on the streets. We really don't want to get to that point. Rather than setting up these parallel systems somewhere else, we want to introduce them within the society where we already live. We exist to remove the corrupted and the compromised from public office and replace them with good, genuine, caring people who ask the people what they want, hold referenda, truly put the power back into the hands of the people. So moving politics away from personality, ego and self-interest towards meaningful, accountable decision-making. Our primary focus then is to stand candidates in council elections and parliamentary elections, which brings me to who we are. So who are our candidates and who are the people running the party? Well, they are people just like you. Our party attracts people who are unafraid to speak out and stand up for their beliefs, and they genuinely want positive change. We are united in working towards a fairer and freer society. The people I work alongside, like you, have lots of integrity and consistently choose courage over comfort, choose what is right over what is fun or easy, and choose to practice
It's been tough like Rex, it's all it's been the day, man. I've had to start this second stream. It's been that bad.
And this is what sets us apart from all the other parties and politics in general.
No, it's alright, man.
So I've run through some of the reasons why we exist and a bit about who we are.
I'm sticking with the English Constitution Party.
Very quickly.
I'm with the English Constitution Party. Not these, like, these are not for me.
And there are many areas that we need to address. The endless money printing, the jabs which are harming and killing people, the trans agenda which has been completely hijacked now to blur identities and confuse our children and young people, the sexualisation of children, the man-made climate change hoax, the digital enslavement agenda, I could go on. It's hard to articulate all of this to the general public.
I've got it here. Strapped like to put them on the chest.
www.freedomalliance.co.uk. And you can see our bold statements, our
it's something I did get it because when I was like on doing the metal detector and go live, so I didn't have, so I can use my hands, so this is out my way, stuck on here, and I can get on doing what I'm doing. And I was thinking, well, if I'm live and it's on my chest, I can't see what people are saying. No, I can't see what people are saying. I was like, never used it.
On leadership roles within our communities. Our manifesto is a mirror of the freedom community and truth movement. We reflect back to the general public what we all know to be the truth, which is hidden from them by a cloak of lies and propaganda. We can cut through to some extent because political parties are...
Hey, God bless, nice to see you, man.
Our party, we do get some, albeit little, exposure with our public profile during elections. I want to invite you to consider how much of a positive impact we can have if we use the political infrastructure to further the work of the truth movement. I want to invite you to join us and stand with us and show the current setup that we see them, we call them out, and we are here to take our power back to our communities by electing for a change, honest, genuine people to represent us by the ballot box. There's a Freedom Alliance leaflet being distributed among us today, which is just up here. And if you like what you see, then please consider joining our party for as little as £5 a year. Our party is run by volunteers, and our membership fees and small donations go directly into funding our election campaigns and leaflets. We here are the enlightened ones, the people who are leading the way for humanity right now. We are the true leaders, and here comes the sting, and one of the biggest challenges we face as a truth movement.
Exactly, Nobby. I'm with the English Constitution Party all day.
I want to end with today and ask you to think about. British people seem to absolutely hate leaders and people who are successful. What's that all about? We are absolutely shocking in our treatment of anyone who stands up and makes a noise, even if we agree with them. As soon as someone steps up, creates things, starts bringing people together,
Where is
starts
Daz and
making a
Mark?
difference
That's
and
not the
gains
pub, son.
momentum,
No, the
very
pub at home.
quickly the influence
Pub at home,
starts.
yeah.
People
Not right,
knock you
Kev.
They've had
down,
enough.
find fault with what you say or do, call you a liar or a shill
Well,
or
there's a
someone
bastard,
not to be
really.
trusted, pick holes in your personality
There's a
and
pack
how
of
you look,
cunts.
suspect you of not being
Or he start
genuine.
laughing his tits
We
off.
are so used to having leaders in this country who have zero integrity, who you cannot trust, who lie, who are corrupted, who are acting in their own self-interest
Yeah,
and
they're fucked
absolutely
off from
not
us,
in the interests of people.
Charlie.
But this means we
Before
no
the
longer
mass
notice
started,
the
the fuck
good
off to the
people
pub.
amongst us who are naturally taking on a leadership role. So we already have a huge challenge,
All
not only
chills
from the
then.
mainstream world, but from
What's
the
that,
freedom community,
Turks?
where we end up eating ourselves
Take the
alive
heads
with
off.
criticism and negativity. I saw a really good tweet the other day from someone called Adam Grant. I've no idea who he is or even if these are his words, but he wrote the following: bad leaders see power as an opportunity. Good leaders see it as a responsibility. Framing power as a responsibility can discourage leaders
He's a
can
millionaire,
discourage
isn't he?
leaders from being selfish, making risky
He's on the fucking
decisions and
stadium.
ignoring
He's always got them
advice.
same clothes
That,
every fucking
I was
day.
going to say, he's never changed his clothes in fucking years, has he?
No.
And I'm sure you
That
will
yellow
agree
shirt.
that our councillors
Unless you've got a wardrobe of everything the fucking same.
of this message.
Charlie loves him,
So
really.
please,
That
please,
yellow
can we
shirt,
reframe
man,
about
it's fucking
leadership
hanging off
and
him.
power and
Don't you
embrace
think
the
Charlie
good
loves
people
fucking
who
peas?
have
Don't you think?
Secret admirer.
Yeah, I think he is as well.
I've nearly finished.
Charlie the mud plugger.
We have courage and integrity. We have
We sat there, little bastard having a killer when I got behind him.
and how we have responded over the last few
Love you
years.
too, Charlie,
On the
son.
front line
Hey,
of this war
Celestial.
My wife's alright, kid.
We are made of the sort of stuff that forms good leaders
Cannot
at a time when most of
even
humanity
watch,
is
mate.
lost. It's time, I think, for us all to step up. There is probably
Oh,
only
what
one
are you
more
watching
general
for, then?
election left for us to make a real impact.
Even Kev's
Please
laughing at that
join
one,
us to
son.
help turn this around. We would welcome you with open arms. Your energy, your ideas, your passions, the truth. The more energy we create in our
Aye, it
local
certainly
areas,
will, Charlie,
the
it
less
certainly will.
power we have
Exactly.
over our lives. In a world where fact is presented as
Definitely,
fiction
kiddo.
and good is presented as evil, we
Going on
have
with
a
a bang on the Kev.
responsibility to show people
Aye,
there
it's
is another
coming.
way. We need to give people living in this
surprised Darren and
country
Mark fucked
hope
off.
and a pathway out of the current nightmare. Thank you.
Oh, Charlie's fucked off.
He's had enough.
Yes, I've had enough of it as well.
He knew Pierce was coming on. He could have just turned it down.
Well,
If anybody's interested, I'm the regional coordinator for Northumberland. So if you want to grab me and if you're interested in joining, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks.
Oh, Celestial, I'm guessing you've had your injection then, have you?
who's that?
I have COVID, can't taste nothing. I bet you've had your jab, have you?
Who's that?
Someone who's commented on here.
Well, if you've had your job,
Yeah, that's
sorry
why.
to say,
That's why.
that's why. The reason why you're ill for, like millions of other people who's had the job. Don't get any more. Drink pine needle tea. Get all the spike proteins out.
Oh well, Celestial, if that's the case, it must be. You must just have. What you've probably done is you've probably caught some of this virus that's getting spread from the jabbed, and you've been breathing their poison in. So
Exactly.
you'll be better. Your immune system will, fight against that new virus that's kicking about what these are spreading. So don't worry, you'll be fine. Oh, why
Are
are
you
you?
watching the fight tonight? Savannah Marshall's fighting, isn't she? For
Oh, I never
the
will.
world title.
Didn't bother with it.
Can you all hear me? So let's just look at what we've been through in the last nearly 3 years. So first of all, we had the claim that there was a virus, which has never been proven. There's been no isolated or purified evidence to show that this so-called virus actually exists. And
Exactly, no.
this happened in January 2020. Then we had the widespread use of PCR tests, which are not calibrated to any virus because there is no SARS-CoV-2 from nature. It is a created a construction from a computer algorithm based on gene bank information and not a virus derived from nature. So we had widespread testing, widespread PCR testing and lateral flow testing. We had the lockdowns where you were you're supposed to be locked in your home and wearing masks and social distancing. You understood there's something very wrong with this. You didn't comply with it. You could see through it. Then we had 3 sets of lockdowns. We had the administration of drugs like midazolam and morphine excessively in nursing homes and hospitals across the UK. We had protocols that were COVID protocols, that were death protocols. There really are murder protocols, and I've seen the evidence on many cases now that this has happened. This has been happening for a long time. So the last 3 years has built on what's been happening for the last 40 years. And it's all wrong and it all needs to stop. So we've had those lockdowns and now we've been let out. But some of us never bothered with it. We didn't believe it, we didn't swallow the propaganda. And we could speak out and be free and do what we like within reason as long as we don't hurt anybody. I think that is the message that I would like to give today, that as much as we feel separate from the rest of society, we are actually part of society, and we're out there to reclaim our rights and to demonstrate that we are part of a wider society. My belief as a health scientist is that this won't stop until we overturn virology as a faulty science. It is the virology, it's virology as currently practiced as a genetic discipline and biotechnology and the pharmaceutical interests that got us into this. And it won't stop until those are pushed back and until virology has been overturned. And unfortunately, we're standing here in the grounds, the campus of the Centre for Life, which is misnamed in my view. It should be the Centre for Death. Because what has happened with these vested interests, Big Pharma, biotech and virology, has meant that they've created these dreadful tests, these dreadful drugs, and these awful pathways and protocols that are basically killing thousands of people, millions across the world if you add it up. There is no question at all that millions of people have died and millions of people have suffered adverse events following the administration of these COVID injections. That's fact. You can look this up on the VERS data and the MHRA data. Whether they've caused them is another issue, which will be difficult to prove, but they are associated deaths. They're affiliated with the administration of these injections, which have not been proven. 2 years ago, I stood out about this, and I was called a conspiracy theorist by doctors like Asim Malhotra, who went on television to show the world that he was having his jab. And a couple of weeks ago, he's come out and said it should be stopped. So who was right and who was wrong? That's not the issue. The issue is that he did a bloody good thing doing that a couple of weeks ago, and he deserves a round of applause for that.
Aye, Rob Random.
However, I would have liked it if he'd done it earlier and not waited a couple of years.
Hey, activated pineal.
And I think that this is also what I'd like to talk about, is freedom within the so-called truth movement. There are many scientists that would like to speak out within the truth movement who are questioning virology and questioning the existence and the proof, the scientific proof we've been given to show that these things called viruses actually exist. And we've been shut out, not just of the mainstream media, but almost sometimes the so-called truth and freedom movement. Do you think that's a good thing? I would like to ask why organizations like the World Council for Health are not engaging with these scientific issues and concealing them from the public by not actually talking about them. You know, you can censor things in all sorts of ways. You can censor things explicitly, or you can just ignore things and as though they don't exist. So why are these issues not being talked about more within the truth movement? We need to have absolute truth here. We need to know the scientific basis for what we've been told in the last 3 years, and we need to have that proof. And I'm working as much as I can with other scientists like Andrew Kaufman, Thomas Cowan, Sam and Mark Bailey, and there are many other scientists, medical and biomedical scientists, and other freedom-loving citizen scientists that are producing the information and the data that all of you need to see. There is no scientific basis for masking and social distancing. As you can see, walking through the streets of Newcastle this afternoon, many other people agree with me. How many masks did you see? Very few. How much social distancing? Very little, if any. And this is why we need to engage with mainstream. There's no good coming away and developing your own little bubble, because no man is an island. No woman is an island. We are all part of a bigger society. We cannot absent ourselves from our responsibility as citizens. We are citizens, and we have a right, an inalienable right, since before the Magna Carta, to associate, affiliate, and congregate together, and to protest like we're doing today, peacefully as citizens. So that is my message, several messages, to do with science, freedom, and being human, and also being spiritual. We must fight this on many fronts. As much as it's important to come out on rallies like today, there's also a fight that you're doing in your own families and communities. You are role models. How you behave, how you argue is very important. We will be judged by the model that we demonstrate to other people. There's no good being aggressive. There is no good acting as though we know it all, because we don't. And that's the issue for me as a scientist, is we know very little. But what we do know shows that what we've been told is an utter pack of lies.
Yep, totally.
And we've been told it by big pharma, big biotech, and government agencies like the UK HSA and the MHRA that are basically mouthpieces for vested interests. You've not been told the truth, you know that. Whether I'm speaking the truth or not is also an issue. Your right to criticize everyone and to be skeptical and form your own opinion Be your own person. Don't be guided, don't be compliant, don't be coerced. Yes, don't comply. Okay. Bye, Mark. Don't comply, but also be congenial. Don't be aggressive, be congenial, and try and bridge the gap. Try and reach out. Try and meet halfway. Be negotiable. Tom Cowan, Andrew Kaufman, myself, and the Baileys, and many other scientists, including Mike Eden, we produced a document called Settling the Virus Debate. It's a proposal to meet the mainstream virologists halfway. We've designed an outline set of experiments which can be undertaken by someone like this, if they want to demonstrate or not whether or not SARS-CoV-2 and other viruses actually materially exist. So we put out an olive branch to the other side. We've met them halfway. We've met them more than halfway. Now this is the way to behave, both as a scientist and as a citizen. Negotiation, being reasonable, but not lying down and being walked on. Standing up for your rights as a citizen and as a scientist. So that's my message today, and I'd like to thank you very much for listening to me, and thank you very much for coming here today. All my work is on Telegram channel, and you can follow all the other people I mentioned on their own channels and their own websites. So onwards and upwards, and embrace the future, colonize the future, and let's get this done. Thank you very much.
Well done, Kevin.
Dr. Kevin Corbett. And we're lucky to have people like that in our movement. Okay, now one of the speakers who was going to come today but couldn't make it, he's a bit late, he'll be at Airbox. If everybody knows the Airbox venue in Cramlington, Nelson Industrial Estate, from 7 o'clock, he'll be there. Okay. Who used to go to the Trafalgar protests? Weren't they great? Yeah. Well, a couple of the speakers we've already had who were regular faces there, Mark Steele and Kevin, and we've got someone else here who was a regular face there. He's been arrested more times than you.
Who wants to stay and listen? Who wants to stay and listen to Piers? Yeah.
Well, thank you very much indeed. It's a fantastic.
Who wants to listen to Piers? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to listen to Piers.
Resist, defy,
do not comply.
All right, you don't have to repeat it. I know, get them going, and they're going.
Vinny.
Look, you might think I'm just a southerner, but my father was born in North Shields.
You call that Kevin shivering?
I'm just laughing.
Oh, right, I thought you were shivering.
And I just want to thank Kevin for a brilliant speech. You know, he stood up against all sorts of nonsense, to reveal what I now think is the truth.
He's like Marmite, isn't he? You either love him or hate him.
But now I do. We change our minds, and we have to welcome all people in the movement who've seen the truth, and don't denounce them for what they thought about last week, or a month ago, or a year ago. We've got to draw everybody in and unite in a great, big federal movement. And that's one reason why I've been going around the country. And I'm from Let the UK Live, and that is a political party and a campaign organisation, as the Alliance You Met, and as indeed Same Us Now is a party. Now, all of us parties have to unite in a federation and work together. We might have differences, but the key thing is we might march separately, but when it comes to fighting the New World Order, we strike together! So, I want to talk about where we are now and how we're going to win. You remember, May the 16th, 2020, I was arrested in Speaker's Corner by 40 police, and you know, the rest is history. I arrested 14 more times since. But, you know, if we hadn't stood then and you stood up subsequently, where would we be now? We would be in a modern tyranny and fascism. That's where we would be now. So standing up was necessary, and I thank you all for doing so. And we are getting the message across. More people are coming on our side, and even the police. I was in Parliament Square last week, and you know, the police have been heavy in the past, and they stopped us playing some music because of some rule, and then there was someone else playing music later, and they didn't stop them. So I went up to the copper and said, look, what about your instant response unit to deal with this antisocial behaviour? He said, Mr. Corbyn, we always have instant response when it's you. Well, that was his answer. So he knew it was a joke. He knew he was taking the piss out of everything, you know. I thought that was very good. But we know that when they talk about zero COVID around the world, zero COVID is 100% fascism. Just look at Australia, China, South Korea, Germany. And if we don't fight back resolutely, we will be next. Now, we know the jab doesn't work. And we know, I would say, the jab wasn't even made to stop COVID. The COVID story was created to introduce the jab. And the jab is there as a killing machine.
Nobby.
That is what it is.
Class.
Millions will die. Kevin is absolutely right. No, we have to do something for all these people who've been tricked. It's very difficult, because this building here will do nothing for them. Now, there are things. We have to build groups to help the jabbed. We really have to. I mean, a lot of them will die. Those who got ill, maybe they can be saved from ivermectin or chloroquine and things. There are things, but we're going to have to really get serious about that. And I would have a little chant on this. Jabbed and jab-free, unite. Jabbed and jab-free, unite. Jabbed and jab-free, unite. Okay, now how do they get away with all these tricks? You see, Pfizer didn't even do a test to show that their jab would stop transmission. They didn't even do a test to do it. Now that's been exposed. So who the hell can argue that they should be allowed to carry on jabbing? So we've got to demonstrate and act against them. And I can tell you, and Charlie asked me to remind people, Tuesday and Wednesday next week at 7:30 in the morning, Whitty and Valence are going to be turning up in Leeds at the Royal Armoury, 7:30 in the morning. I know you people like getting up early, so there you are, somewhere to go. And the next day, Thursday, 1 o'clock, down in the Canary Wharf, head of the MHRA, we are going to be demonstrating. We're going to be demanding that the jab programme end immediately, and that the head of the Pfizer be arrested and imprisoned, and well, whatever next you can think of, I suggest you do. And we will also a probe into the European Union. Now, of course, us asking our government to probe into anything is a waste of time, because all they do is do a whitewash. Now, the European Union needs a probe. I don't know who's going to do it, but the European Commission President, her husband, is up to his neck in biotech, and that rhymes. Which might explain why, when they've had that inquiry, lots of bits of paper were not produced. So, you know, the work has to go on there, and the corruption exposed. And now, next thing, what's happening in politics in Britain? The Daily Express today has a headline, the vultures are circling around Truss. Well, she's only been there a few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what is going on? We've had one useless bird, Johnson, and now we've got another. But they're mounting up. Are they going to bring us the more and more stupid every time? Now that is actually what they're doing. You see, they're telling us the truth about our politicians. Why is that? Because they're not telling us the truth about COVID, they're not telling us the truth about climate, but they're lying.
Go on, Corbyn! Go on, Corbyn!
They are telling the truth about our politicians. The reason is they want to get rid of our politicians and replace them by a world fascism. That's what they're after. Let's be clear. We should carry on denouncing our treacherous lying politicians, yes, but we have to know that in the end it's us who is going to have to take leadership of the country. Seriously, you, everyone will have to stand up. And all the parties we've got, the little parties, are going to have to unite in a massive movement to win. To win, I'm serious, to win. We're not here to protest. Begging the powers that be to do something will not work. They'll never do it. They're totally corrupted and useless.
And
that includes the Labour opposition and the fake left who are just dithering around as well. Well, enough about that, but remember, Hitler got into power to replace incompetent politicians. He said he will bring order where there was chaos. That is what Klaus Schwab wants to do. Don't trust any of them. Okay, now how do they get on with selling these lying signs? Well, it's the corrupt media, of course, but recently Melanie Fleming at the UN, a UN officer, said to the World Economic Forum, maybe she let it slip, but she said, we own the science! We own the science!
Oh, this
well, that is a recipe for tyranny and lies. Fake science needs the end of democracy to succeed. Absolutely go together. That is why they've got to trash our rights to speak, or they've got to arrest us simply for standing up for our rights. And what we're seeing about virology now, it's a bit like the phlogiston theory. You remember the phlogiston theory in chemistry and physics? That there was this innate phlogiston in materials, and if you lit a fire, phlogiston came out.
Tune changes now, Rob, eh?
It was nonsense, but people believed it. And I think the virus theory is like that. What we're seeing is the end of a theory of actually nothing. An imaginary theory. Someone you can't see, they can control you with. A virus you can't see or do anything about, wonderful.
Because it's
and
not
climate, of course.
there.
Well, can you see it? Well, you can feel it, but, you know, you can't see what they say is going on. It's another thing they can say is they can control. Now, move on to climate then. Let's be clear. Man-made climate change does not exist. You should cheer because we know, and if I can hold this up, do you mind holding it up, Dylan? This, no, the poster, not the book, the poster, this. Okay, see the graph there? It shows that carbon dioxide levels follow changes in temperature over 20,000 years. And they're telling us that CO2 is causing temperature change. No, the temperature change causes a change in CO2. All right, you put it down now. Thank you, Dylan. Okay, and we know it's nonsense when they tell us, because they say extra CO2 up there will send heat from up there where it's cold to down here where it's warmer. Well, that's against, if you want to be technical, the second law of thermodynamics. Well, if you believe that and you want to save money on your electricity bill, put a cup of water in front of you, wish it to get hot, and then put a tea bag in it.
For 18 months.
Isn't that wonderful? This is the Newcastle solution to
and I'm still here, and I've left the building.
Electricity problem as well as climate. It's all bullshit. It is complete bullshit.
It is bullshit.
You see, they leave just facts out. This extra CO2, if it's going to cause extra radiation from up there, it'll also cause it from down here. Well, down here it's warmer than up there, so it'll send more up than it comes down. It's nonsense. They give you half a story and expect you to believe it. But millions of people do, because somebody comes in dressed in a white coat and says, I've got a degree in the Imperial College, which I have as a matter of fact. But, you know, they believe authority, and that is not the way forward. And zero carbon, when they put it forward, It means zero rights. It means you've got to stop driving your car. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. You've got to eat cockroaches. You can't have an egg. Or perhaps you can have an egg. I don't know. But, you know, it goes on and on and on. And on that, I just mentioned that I am not driving in the ultra low emission zone and paying. I mean, I'm driving in London and I'm not paying. And it's £12.50 to the fine for not doing the first one, £24 for the next one, and £240 for the third one. And I have now been sent bill after bill after bill after bill, and I totally
Right, and going on all day,
£17,000. And I'm not going to pay it. I owe 1,500 in fines as well, and none of them have been paid yet either. So let's see how that goes. Okay, right, well, continuing on the climate, I hope this isn't getting too long, but they told you about record heat this summer. No, it was hot, yes, it was, but it was just in a series of hot summers, not separated by 19 years because of a lunar effect on the Russia particles from the sun. 1984, 2003 and 2022. And anyway, they lied about the real data because they said super this, super that, but all their so-called records were in urban heating centres where there have been a lot more new builds, central London, new build in the last few years, or airports where, you know, jet planes are zooming around all the time. There's not a single data set of a long data that's reliable which shows anything special this summer compared with the other ones that have happened that have been quite warm. Anyway, it's complete bullshit when they're going to lie and lie and lie. And if you want to know more about it, download our paper from weatheraction.com, where you could also buy a long-range forecast about the winter. But I'm not going to tell you about that because I want you to buy it. But it's a very interesting winter. Now, the point I want to make, crucially, about the whole movement and everything and what they're doing, is there's numbers of legs to the New World Tyranny. 6 of them, or maybe more. But these have been going for a while. What's happening is planned. We have the virus con, we've got to stop it. The climate con, stop it. The war con, where, well, the Russians are blamed for everything. But of course, it's a war on you. That's what it's about. The reason for energy shortages has nothing to do with Ukraine. It's just that, well, they make it up. You see, oil doesn't come from Ukraine, so they blame the Russians and put the prices up. We've got to halt all the jab programs. We've got to take down 5G. And I want to thank Mark Steele and others up here who led the fight nationally to take down 5G. And it really is a serious thing. And it's, you know, it's a data motorway, but of course the radiation itself is deadly. And the last thing, the pinnacle of their 6 legs, is the digital ID and the 4th industrial revolution. And Angela's going to say a few words about that later. But that is what they're after, to get us all regimented, controlled with data, end cash, so that you can be turned off and will be turned off when you do something they don't like. So, how are they going to get to it? Well, they tried locking us down through COVID, and people don't believe that. But I think the thing they want to do now, it's a kind of idea I've got, is that they're going to have a big climate scare, because they're working up like mad on this, and they're letting these silly, trustafarian, stupid...
Oh, Corky, I tell you what, you've just sent that bloody rain up here, haven't you?
And get away with it. For what reason? It's to brainwash us into something. Now, what I think they could do is say there's going to be a new deadly virus caused by climate change, and it's so dangerous not even a jab could stop it. Now of course people are going to believe that because they know the jab isn't working. In fact, they could forget about jabbing indeed now, because millions will die from what they've done already. So the jab program might be lost. Remember, all these tricks
Take care,
go
John.
together in order to control. So I better get towards finishing. I'm getting towards finishing. Where is the resistance from the so-called left of the Labour Party, or even the Labour Party? It's a nonsense. And we've got the servile Keir Starmer, who is just a pathetic, dribbling chaser and bowing to the Tories. But then, unfortunately, we have everything my brother's done up to this point of time has been fantastic. But the left of the Labour Party now, some of them are more Starmer than Starmer. They're talking out of nonsense. They believe in jabbing the world. Heaven help us. That means killing billions of people in the world and mass infertility in the third world. That's what it means. And we have to say no. So the left, including the Labour Party, are throttling the power of real workers. Now look, what's happened with the RMT strikes? Think about it. They could have won during the funeral of the Queen. They could have won. They could have said to the government, we're going to have an all-out strike, all the days you want anything to do with the funeral. And they didn't. They didn't. They said, no, we believe in the Queen, we believe in the King, we're going to do nothing. They're so pathetic. They could have won. The trade union leaders are parading around their members in compliance with the new world order who want to ruin the economy. That's what it's about. Look at it. Why don't they do something to win? See, what should we be doing? What they should be doing is calling for, and we should call for this, we have to take the lead. Some of us are in trade unions, a lot of us, take the lead on what to do. We should have strikes in the NHS to end the jab programmes now. Thank you. We should have strikes to end the death toll of the elderly. We know what happens to elderly people. They get administered this and that and they die. We know Eric Levy was killed by the NHS in London, and we have regular events outside UCH Hospital about that. We should be getting working with store workers, shop workers to go on strike against all that mechanisation. To go on strike against cash that says we've got to keep cash, keep cash, keep cash.
How can you keep cash, man? It's not worth it. Aye. Right, Charlie.
You see, we're only going to succeed by taking back our rights and breaking the legs of the new
What do we need, mate? Guys, see you later.
Don't work by letting any political
Right, nice one, Mark. Right, take care. See you later, bro. See you after. See you next time. See you next year. Ta-ra. See you later.
Yeah, it's going to hold you down in a minute.
Oh, yeah, nah. I've got one of the lads on from Sunderland. He's like, I was fucking lashing it down in Sunderland. It's coming, I can feel it.
How far's the car from me, do you know?
I
don't got a clue where I'm at.
We'll just have a walk.
I know the train station's there somewhere.
We'll find it, man, we'll find it. Right, guys, it looks like we've left there.
I need at least an hour to fucking kid me.
We've left the gang, so we'll just have a little trek back to find the car.
If we can fucking find it.
So we'll have a little stroll up back through Newcastle for you before I end the stream, yeah? Well, that's the train station, isn't it? Fucking hell. How far up away, yeah?
Fucking all full of men.
Oh, can you feel it?
Good job I'm on a wind trap floor, look. Nice and toasty, mate. Nice to see everyone today, like. Martin just said to us there, he coming to London. I went, I don't know. I said, if I can get a lift down with someone, I might.
I didn't like it. London's just too much of a fucking ball ache, man.
You just can't be arsed with it all anymore, can you?
Nah. Everything's been done what needs to be done. going to wake any more up. That's we are where we are now. It's like that's the divide that we are. I mean, the people who've had it, obviously, you're fucking regretting it. I mean, none of us are regretting not taking it.
Nah.
That's the good thing about it.
Exactly, mate.
Alright guys, I'm not entering the stream yet. I'm just we're going to have a walk through and find the car. So you may as well stop with us, So, massive respect. Guys stream, because the first one was a nightmare. You know, this seems to have went better since we've got out the build-up area.
I haven't got that sun not low, have I? I hate Newcastle, it's too big.
Aye, Dean, that's the thing. It's I had a stream earlier on. I had to end that one and restart it. For some reason, the signal went off the phone, and it just wouldn't come back. So I had to bloody reset my phone. And we've walked a canny distance to get up there.
Oh, aye.
The fucking life centre thing.
I'm fucking starving, mate.
Oh, Corky, I tell you what, I'll not get lost in Newcastle, bro. That thing in that day in Manchester was getting a bit fucking worrying, like. Walking around Manchester lost, I couldn't find the car or fuck all. I was like, shit. That was panic fucking, just about getting into panic like mode. Yeah, not for me, mate, I'm alright. Yeah, that's fine, we'll just
Fucking back's breaking as well.
Hey, Shaz is back.
Shaz is back.
Ooh,
back
it's fucking cold.
Shaz is back.
I mean, look at the size of these buildings. No wonder we fucking can't get a signal. The old station there. I keep noticing, Shaz, what's Badger? Why does people keep replying to a Badger? Is Badger on here or something, or what? Badger? Am I missing something? If you think I'm with Badger, Shaz, I'm not. I know he's been here today. Check that out. That's the way out. We want to be getting back up here.
Banks ahead, banks.
No, Shaz, nah, he's not.
Look, got a nappy on his face. Hey, it's a nappy wearer.
No, Shaw's there. We're not on speaking terms. Badger spat his dummy out. He's gone in the hoof. Who's he fucking standing there? Who's that?
Who's it, Darren, did he?
Get a move on, mate. Here's another fucker here just standing about.
I mean, they cost fucking fortune, waste some money.
Don't know where he is. Some fucking bells going off.
Oh, my fucking back's killing. Oh, Kev.
Can he get run over? I'm definitely gonna have to invest in a new one of these fucking gimbals, like.
Yeah.
Steve, we're in Newcastle. Hi, Dean. That'll be later on in the night. That man, once people have had a few drinks. Surprised you haven't seen a fucking traffic cone on one of them statues yet. Fucking right, isn't it?
Everyone seems to be pissed already, don't they?
I know. Say that.
Bounce, you know what I mean? Without water.
It always is, isn't it? Stay away on a weekend.
Scruffy coffee there. Something to eat.
I'm alright, mate.
You sure? I'll get you something to eat.
No, I'm fine, mate. I had a bacon sarnie, man, for my breakfast. I'm good.
I'm fucking cutting up here. Dying of starvation.